Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, you know me, KRay from the KRay Sports Podcast. Today we are in one of the best towns in Birmingham. We're in Smithfield, Alabama, and I got it right, Smithfield, Alabama. So it's a big announcement being made here today, and I'm very proud that they invited me over to have it on my podcast. It's a big announcement being made by the executive, Dr. Huxon, and Brother Moss. They announced a big announcement. So what we're gonna do is, if you're watching, we want you to tag people. We want you to share and let them know that the announcement is getting ready to go down in Smithfield, Alabama. And we're going to go to a commercial break. And when we come back, the executive will announce the big announcement.
When I think of
I guess that's what I should have said and done. No, it doesn't. Well, it does.
when I think of a city like Birmingham, I'm always drawn to its rich history. A history of overcoming the civil rights era and showing resilience to rebuild the culture of what we know today. 60 years doesn't seem too long ago, and the evidence of change can still be seen today. And hey, let's say you want to see what's new in Birmingham, or maybe what's new in your own city. See, you'll have to download the Black Business Traffic app for that. The Black Business Traffic app is an easy-to-use digital resource to help you track your way to the nearest black business. If your goal is to shop local and find black-owned establishments, this is the app for you. Visit your local app store, download, and sign up now so that you can start shopping locally today.
Okay, we're back here in Smithfield, Alabama. And the big announcement today, I won't get into it. I'll let the executive, we're going to talk about it with the executive. I like the way y'all called a press conference to announce it because it's never been done before, Coach. And I appreciate y'all inviting me over to make the announcement. And between you and the athletic director, I know y'all did a good job getting it together. So now we are here and we're ready for the announcement. And before we get into it, how y'all were very creative coming up with the press conference.
Well, good evening. And first of all, let me say how grateful we are for you for what all you do, not only for H. Parker High School, but Birmingham City sports as a whole. It really gives our scholar athletes an opportunity to be displayed in a very positive manner. But actually, this press conference was a brainstorm of athletic director Tyrus Moss. He came and ran it by me. We had some dialogue, and I just think that this is a great way to introduce someone that is going to be here on our faculty as well as on our coaching staff here at the historic Arthur L. Parker High School.
So you already know now. So they already know it is an announcement by the coach. And when you seen all the way hit a home run because you got the volleyball coach, you just had her on. And do they have to have some kind of flavor, that Smithfield flavor, anything like that, or toughness, or Parker background, or you can just tell they the right fit?
Well, it helps. We definitely enjoy bringing our own back. But more importantly, we want someone that's going to do right by our kids, whether it's a faculty, staff, coach, paraprofessional. We want someone that's going to give them their max each and every day. We're so delighted that so many of the city youth have decided to matriculate here at H. Parker High School. We're projected to be the second largest high school in the district, and we have the most prized possession and making sure that we take care of our parents' children. And that's one key ingredient. And the individuals that we have been able to bring a part of the faculty staff and the coaching staff, they love kids. They have great relationships with them, and they do right by them.
Coach, I get confused a lot of time when people talk about Parker, because I want them to know it's not a 1A school, it's not a 2A school, it's not a 3A school, it's not a 4A, it's a 6A school. And I think people they forget all about this being a 6A school. Tell them the difference between, I know it's the numbers, but you're the executive and the principal of a 6A school. What kind of weight that carries on your shoulder?
Oh, it carries a lot of weight. Your 6 and your 7A have a lot of scholars to pull from. We are a mid-sized 6A school, but we want to hold our own, and regardless of the sport, whether it's golf, whether it is volleyball, whether it's basketball, whether it's track and field, whether it's football, we want our students first to go out in a positive manner, have good sportsmanship, look the part, but represent this historic school in a very fine manner.
And we're going to go back just before we get to the announcement. We're going to talk about the football program, because you can't say enough about them. But back in the day, Mountain Brook and the Hoovers, the Birmingham City Schools, always homecoming pasta. Everybody drink their little drinks and then go celebrate. But now they don't want to play y'all. You can't hardly find too many teams that want to come and play y'all on homecoming anymore, right?
It's been a challenge. I had the opportunity to speak at the 1970 class, 55th class anniversary, 55 years from H. Parker High School. And one thing they said, that this team and this school has done something, well, not this school, but this team has done something that has never been done in the history of 125 years. And that's to win a state championship in football at the 6A level. And that is truly remarkable. It has, like I say, been a challenge for us to find opponents, but Coach Warren and his staff and the football players, they have this attitude. They'll play anybody, anywhere, at any time.
Coach, I teased you before we came on the air about finding a coach. When you went out to find a volleyball coach, how would you able to pull her away? Because I never thought I knew she was going to come back to Park, but I just didn't know it was this soon. How would you ever get her away?
Well, she has been a coach here before. I've been knowing her since she was in high school. But she is a person that the kids gravitate to. She was one of our assistant coaches with the volleyball program. And Coach Moss came to me, or AP Moss came to me, and he said, this is a no-brainer with replacing our volleyball coach. And Coach Wiley, we're real excited about this upcoming season and the job that she's going to do for us.
Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we'd like to the athlete, next voice you'll hear is the athletic director, Tyrus Moss. He will come to the podium.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Thank you for taking time out your busy schedule for our big announcement. This time, we're about to announce girls basketball acting interim head coach. He's been a stickler. He's been a pivotal and a pole in the Birmingham community. He has accomplished as a basketball coach and professional with 20 years of experience. He's coached at Jackson Olin, Homewood Middle, High School, Upton High School, Lawson State. He has a deep background on the court.
Oh, yeah.
So at this time, we're going to introduce to some and present to others our new acting interim girls basketball coach, Michael Pruitt.
Hey, it's an honor and a privilege to be standing here before you all. And I want to say thank you to Mr. Hudson making this happen, and also to Tyrus Moss and all the coaches that's here. I really appreciate it. I know where I'm at. Parker, it was just common name Parker, known all over the world. H. Parker High School. Just celebrated 125 years, being in existence. And I coached against Parker. And when I coached against Parker, one of the things that always, when I went to the gym or when they came over to my place, they went on a run, you're going to hear, Herb, get ready to roll, Herb, get ready to roll. And even though Jill raised me, now Parker's going to be paying me. So done heard, doing through, but I'm excited. If anybody know me, my team, they're known for playing hard. We play the right way. And when we win with class. And when we happen to lose, we lose with class. Not boasting, but I've won everywhere I've ever been. You can bet it. I've won everywhere I've ever been. And I'm just excited to be here. I'm going to be actually teaching here as well, teaching health. I'm just excited about it. I was telling my son, three of us, my wife, because I have my wife with me, my high school sweetheart, been married 35 years. I got my son, Michael.
Yeah, I think that deserves a round of applause.
And my my daughter Chelsea is 31, and I have my grandson. And my daughter's tips, Dad, you can't take my place. Ain't nobody can take my baby's place. But that's my grandson, that's Michael the third. And so I have my family with me. But I'm just excited. Parker has a lot of history. And I was thinking about when I was driving over here, Coach Cap Brown, Jim is named out there. I remember watching Cap on the sideline doing this thing for many years. And he was a sharp dresser. One of the things that I always saw with Cap, he's ultra. If they had big game, it was a big game, he's gonna pull that ultra suede coat out, jacket out. And he was a dresser, man. His team's playing hard. And I remember that. Then you got Reggie McGarry, who's gone on. Coach McGarry, he's my defensive back coach at Jill my senior year. So just a lot of tradition, and they want to win, and I'm a winner. So I'm just grateful that Mr. Hudson and Coach Moss gave me an opportunity to come over and lead, and we're gonna win. I guarantee we're gonna win, y'all, because that's what I'm about to win.
Coach, we got question and answers right now. And my first question with you is, well, you already answered for me. You showed up like I thought you were going to show up because I followed you a long time. You had success at Homewood. I don't know if you know I'm following you or not, but you had success at Homewood. I know you're going to bring dress code. Just tell us something about the dress code, how it got started.
Oh, my dad was a dresser, man. My dad, mom, his dad, my mom as well. My grandma used to always tell me, I remember when I was a little boy, I would stay with her, because she sometimes spend on Saturday. And when you stayed with, you was going to church. And so she would always say, she'd get my clothes out, get them together. And she said, when I get through, she'd get through with me. She's going to put the baby oil on and all that kind of stuff. And when she get through with me, she would tell me, say, you can gallop in the game now. And she meant, because they were dressed. And so, this is one of my things. I think that when you dress well and when you're coaching kids, man, I don't care what level it is, and you dress, and let them know that you're serious about what you're doing. You don't go be a basketball coach and stand on the sideline with a lumberjack shirt on and a pair of jeans. You don't do that. You be representing what the kids to play up to a certain standard. So that's where it comes.
So, and Coach Moss, he read your resume, and I already knew your resume, but I think a lot of people outside probably saying, well, they went and got a coach that taught middle school, that coached middle school at Homewood. But over the years, I followed you a long time, and I know you got a background. But when you, just like me, Mr. Hudson just said, we're talking about, see, when you're on the outside and you don't know what's going on the inside. By us being on the inside, we know that you got some pieces. Yeah, and I think Coach Mawson broke it down to you that you got some pieces to compete. So they won 2 games. We won 2 games last season. What are you going to do to change that atmosphere?
All right. Definitely, we're going to change, because I say I know the tradition of what Park has been doing, and the couple years before, 22-23 season, 23-24 season, they were really, really good. Because I get out here when I have games, I get out and watch. And we're going to build it back. And I know some pieces in the building. And then other thing is I'm going to lock down my zone. I'm going to get my kids, we're going to work, and we're going to play hard because I ain't going to have no other way. So we're going to win. It's only a matter of time. But and with the piece that we had this year, we're going to compete this year. And, I hadn't seen met with the kids and all that kind of stuff, but I guarantee you're going to look a whole lot different than they looked last year. Matter of fact, we're going to win more than 2 games. I guarantee you. We're going to do that. And I haven't even looked at the schedule. Yeah. But I just know, and I have confidence in what I do and how I do things, and I can get them to play. I used to tell people all the time, and it wasn't a bragging thing, I can take mine and beat yours and take yours and beat mine. Because I put that kind of work. And I believe that. Yeah. Because I put that kind of work in. I think when you work, I practice 6 days a week. Yeah. All day they'll be out on Saturday. Yeah. And they don't get Saturday off unless we got a tournament or something. And then, but pretty much we in here on Sunday, so we're gonna work. We're gonna work. So your transition from the Homewood school system to Birmingham school system, how you gonna adjust to that? Is it a difference? Like it's the same part. Man, I come out of Ensley. Yeah. I'm a city product.
Yeah.
You know, I went to Jackson Hole.
Yeah.
You know, when I went to school, there no buses pick us up. You walk to school. So, you know, going from Homewood to ends, I mean, coming back to the city, the only thing that's done for me is, you know, and let me say this first, number one, answer your question.
Yeah.
Be brief. What it's done for me, it did one thing for me going from city or county, wherever I've been, going to Homewood, it tells you what kind of person I am, because they ain't gonna hire anybody over there.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be you ain't getting the door for an interview.
Yeah.
And I went on now successful, won 47 straight games. I won everywhere I've ever been. When I get over here, it's the same thing. Kids are kids. I won everywhere I've ever been. I'm gonna put the work in, and I'm a city product. So you know, I've had antennas on the back of my TV. You know, I ate fish and poking beans on Friday. Like that. I'm a city person, so that ain't doing that. I'm whatever environment in, I know how to act in that environment. You know, if you're in Rome, you do as the Romans do. So, and people know me. And so that's not an issue with me at all. Coming back because I'm a homeboy and I'm from the city of Birmingham and I'm a city product.
Coach Moss, I want to ask you a question. In the interview with him, you kind of felt he was the right guy for the job. What made him the right guy for the job?
Well, he's a coach's coach.
Yeah.
You can get that feel just from the conversation that we had. He's passionate about what he does, and anyway he been, he just say he's a winner. You know a winner, you know a coach when you see a coach if you're a coach.
I just, you know, I hear people inboxing me. They want to know the big announcement, and some just, when we gonna get a coach? So you was out of coach for what, a month?
About a month and a week.
You just took your time?
Well, we had to do a deep search.
Yeah.
We had to make sure we had the right fit at the right time for these young ladies, because you know it's been said that you know they don't care nothing about the girls. They don't care about football and basketball, but we care about the whole athlete, all athletes first. But the girls were very, very, very important in this choosing of this coach.
But you hear him and he said 47 consecutive games. Did that ring a bell? I know it had to ring a bell.
You run the bell, run the title bell.
In place where he went Homewood? Yeah.
It's hard to do, especially when you're playing all over the mountain schools and you're doing the right over the mountain with them. And it's still competitive. I mean, they don't want to lose, but he beat them. He beat them 47 games straight.
Yeah. Coach, back to you. A lot of last year we didn't have that attendance in the crowd that we normally have. And I guess sometimes when you lose, you don't draw a crowd. So when you winning, and especially I think Coach Smith, he's gonna win. So when it's better when both teams are winning. What do you think about the attendance over in Smithfield, here in Smithfield?
We're gonna get it back. You know, when I was at Jackson Hole, and you know, I won more games in the history of that school for girls basketball. My first year I was 24-5. The next year we were 20-10. So and then in last year we were 15 and 14. You know, and I moved on. But we'll get it back. You know, when I was at Jackson Hole, we drew more, and people that know me, they can attest to it. The people was coming to see the girls play because the boys basketball team was down. They come to see the girls play. Some old alumni, people out of the community just want to see what was going on. People that played with me, stuff like that, just come to see the girls play. So we'll get it back. You know, things have changed to the point. Ray, what happens is a lot of times, even over the mountain, people don't know this because I was at Spain Park. The kids don't come back like they used to, but if you win, they'll come back.
Yeah.
You know, when I was in school, man, you know, if you weren't playing or what have you, know, you stay out of school to go to the game, or you go home and come back, get into a B team game, because the jails be packed out. When you get there early, you want to get in.
Yeah.
So we can get it back. Just got to win.
Yeah.
You win and put a good product on the floor, they'll come and watch. And I promise you, and we're gonna do that. We're gonna do it. We're gonna play a style of basketball that they want to see, and we'll get them back.
Got a lot of young players. You believe in playing young players, freshman, sophomore, as long as they can play. You just believe in, but because when you enter here, you got freshmen, you got sophomore, and you got 2 or 3 sophomores that really your pieces. So will you go young, or you just got win with what you got?
I believe in playing young players. You know, because you have to develop in what you're trying to do. I'm trying to build a program.
Yeah.
You know, I ain't trying to come in and then you win all of a sudden, then the next you back on the bottom. I don't believe in that. You know, you want to establish a program where we can keep our kids in our zone. And so, yeah, we're going to play everybody to play. We're going to train them. We're going to get them ready to play. You know, so sometimes when you do that, you may take some lumps, but you know, you're building a program.
Yeah.
And that's what you want to do. I don't want to just be a one-hit wonder. I want to build a program.
Well, I saw you keep up a lot of noise on the sideline. I ain't going to call no name. You remind me of a guy, he coached softball. I called it hodgeball. You remind me of him because when I come see you, you holler loud at him. It's hard to get loud and hard. So you're gonna be walking the sidelines
Well, you know, that's part of being motivating kids,
Yeah.
high energy. You know, I always believe this, man. If you sit on your hands, you probably not gonna win a whole
Yeah.
lot. You know, all the great coaches I know, of people that's been successful, they're vocal. I'm gonna give Coach Moss, for example, he coached baseball. But what I like about Moss is always saying something. He ain't over there with his arm folded and chewing some bubble gum or telling somebody kids or something else. Because you know, get your brain around you do that. He motivates people, so I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I'm motivated, and a lot of times what I'm doing, I'm motivated, getting them to play hard. And then when kids see that you're into it, and then too, they respond. If I sit over with my hands crossed, you ain't gonna win a whole lot of games.
Yeah.
I don't care if you loaded. You know, you got to coach them and make them play. And if you do that, they respond. They respond to you, and they respect that.
Well, I think you walk into a situation where you probably gonna be playing for one. You probably gonna be coaching for one of the best principals, the executive, Coach Hudson. I call him Coach too. So an executive, the principal, and he's like, he let you coach, he let you play, he let you coach. How you think gonna feel for working up under him and Coach Moss?
I would never took the job, man. Take the work from Mr. Hudson.
Yeah.
Or Coach Moss.
Yeah.
Because I have a family.
Yeah.
I'm responsible for all those people. Even my people that are grown, my children I still see about.
Yeah.
So I took the job because I know I can work. And I worked some everywhere.
Yeah.
If you look at my resume, I worked some everywhere, man. Inner city, suburbs, when you said suburban, you're talking about upper middle class people, Homewood. So I worked something up under all type of people, man, and I would never take the job if I couldn't work up under Mr. Hudson or Moss. And I've been following Mr. Hudson for real as well, even when he was up at college.
Yeah.
You know, the kind of ship you run. I walked through the hallway when they was leaving around, you could eat off the floor.
Yeah.
The building is clean. Yeah. So I definitely could work up under because he demand excellence, and I'm gonna give him what he's demanding.
Any question from the audience before we turn it over to Mr. Hudson? Any questions from the audience? Okay, Coach, I appreciate you, man. I wish you all the luck. Hey, you know I'm gonna be.
Oh, absolutely, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, man.
All right, man.
Thank you all.
The executive, Mr. Hudson.
I think we can do better than that. Let's give Coach Pruitt another big round of applause. We're indeed delighted to have not only him, but his family. That says a lot about him. This man of God who is not only going to be our coach, as I mentioned before, but it's going to be part of our faculty. And it's always good to have individuals that have the type of caliber you have, as well as someone that really care and do right by our kids. I also want to thank the coaches and everyone who came to this press conference. This is something new that we're going to start here at H. Parker High School. As I was sharing with Coach Pruitt, we got a lot of special things going on here, and he's another missing pieces of the puzzle that we're trying to put together here. And let me just thank the family in advance for allowing him to be part of our faculty as well as our coaching staff. Coaching is not easy. You spend a lot of time away from your family, away from home, and we don't take that lightly here. So thank you all. Let's give this family a big round of applause. Especially his wife. Take the page out of his book. So he'll check off with her before you could accept the position. So I like that. Doing something right. But we're once again so delighted. This is a very special day here at H. Parker High School. We're looking forward to a great volleyball as well as girls basketball season. If there are no questions, this concludes our press conference for this afternoon or this evening. Thank you for coming out.
Thanks.
All right.